This meditation is to connect to myself. If I'm feeling off, heavy, unmotivated, kind of blah, not really having an answer for my next step. So I'm going to close my eyes and inhale and just start to notice my body and notice what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, how my body feels. I notice I keep getting distracted by thoughts that don't feel helpful. And so as I close my eyes, if a thought pops in, I'm pushing it out into my field. And I imagine my field in movement, circling around me. I'm not trying to dissolve the thought. I'm seeing if I can manage it. I'm seeing if I can do something with it. And so each thought that pops in, I'm just pushing it in to the field and allowing it to assimilate. I notice that if I try to get rid of something or stop something or make something bad, it just tends to show up again and again and again. And so I accept these thoughts. I notice how they make me feel, and I would like to feel something better, something lighter. And so now I can look at these thoughts like a moving picture moving around me. And as I'm looking at them, I'm noticing how I'm feeling and all of those feelings that come up, the good, the bad. I'm noticing if any embarrassment or shame, or if I'm critical on myself or another. And as I'm watching this movie, I'm just noticing it. And I watch my thoughts as a movie. When I have thoughts that go over and over and over again, or thoughts that I keep thinking about, I notice what emotion I have about them. Is it anger, sadness, revenge? What's happening inside of me that I'm wanting whatever I am feeling? Usually, when this happens, it's because I forget about myself and that I come from the divine. My cells are encoded with love and purity, divinity, connection, connection to myself, connection to others. And I forget that. So now on my movie screen, I'm going to watch myself feeling pure, feeling light, feeling loved, nourished, protected, confident, secure, abundant, and magical. And so I'm going to watch this movie of myself the one that feels good, the one that is smiling, happy, not necessarily having a plan, but being able to be in the moment and enjoy it. If a critical thought comes up, or judgment, or something that doesn't feel good, I'm putting it out into my field, and it's on another screen. So it is running on another screen because I can't destroy energy. I can transform it, though. And so I'm going to make that screen smaller and smaller and smaller so that it's just a line that runs, and it's something I am aware about. I know this of myself. I'm aware. I'm not going to try and heal it, fix it, get rid of it. I'm going to just allow it to be there because it's a memory. I don't want to dissolve my memories, but I would like to transform how they affect me and how I think about them. And so I am diminishing the energy of it. And instead, I'm going to watch the movie of me being happy, feeling like I'm in the perfect place at the perfect time. And everything around me is perfect. And if it isn't to my liking, the person that I'm watching knows that it is going to be temporary and something else is coming. Dipping into anxiety, depression, stress, anger, whatever pattern it occurs, is a sort of vacation in a sense, because it takes me out of perfectionism or being hard on myself. You're thinking I have to do something or be something or create something. And so that pressure goes away for a little bit when I drop into emotions that surge that feel kind of heavy. And then in the end, I don't feel light afterwards. I feel like I'm in a hole and I have to dig myself out again. And so I'm going to levitate out of that hole, and I'm going to put love and compassion on that energy, that part of me. And I'm going to put it out to my field, and I'm going to look at it like a movie, like it's winding around me, and I'm going to shrink it. I'm not going to fill the hole. I'm not going to spend time there. I'm not going to spend time looking back. I'm going to look at the movie of me being happy and fulfilled and knowledgeable. And I have an understanding of myself and of the people around me. I can look at this world and see its chaos, but I can see it from a view. Again, like I'm watching a movie. And I have all of these movies that are going on. And I'm going to concentrate again on the one where I'm happy, confident, clear. I'm fulfilled in the moment, and I trust the next moment. If anything comes up, any thought where I'm harsh on myself, I'm putting it out to the field. Or if I'm hard on somebody else, I'm putting that out to the field. And then I'm releasing that person releasing them completely. And I pull back my energy and I pull back any connection to that thought. Any resentments I might harbor, hopelessness, insecurity, all of that I'm putting out into the field. And I watch that movie of that person. And I notice that flips a lot. It's not a pure movie. And so I notice, oh, that's how I'm perceiving the vibration of that. And that is how I'm going to recognize it in the future. And there are vibrations all around us. And sometimes some get in and we don't even realize it. We just wake up and feel off. And so I'm going to look at the movie again that's wrapping around me of me being happy, healthy, abundant, fulfilled, connected, guided, guided in this moment, guided in the next step, happy and excited and trusting that I'm going to be okay. And that person that I'm looking at believes everything works out perfectly for them. So as I watch myself, this person believes everything works out for me. Everything works out for me. Everything works out for me. And I allow gratitude in that I am not alone, that my suffering, my pain, my thoughts, I'm not alone. So many people experience this. I'm going to breathe in and accept that this is part of being human. This is part of living here at this time, in this timeline with these events going on. And if everything works out for me, then I'm in the perfect place. I'm the perfect person to be here while all of this is going on. And I make that screen bigger, bigger, bigger. And it now gets so large that it's in front of the other movies that are running. And I push them farther out and I thank them because every change in emotion, every change in thought is movement. And like a spiral, I get to decide, do I want that to go up? Do I want to spiral down? And then because everything works out for me, it doesn't matter if I'm spiraling down or spiraling up because I'm on my spiral. And I remember glimpses, moments, times connected in divinity. And as I remember that vibration, that feeling, my spiral is made for that vibration. And so as I am watching my movie of being happy and fulfilled and complete, the spiral, I notice I can imagine it vibrating within me. And I'm just going to imagine that that spiral, as it's connected with divinity, cleans and clears and helps me. And I may not feel totally perfect at the end, but I'm going to notice any change. I'm also going to notice any thoughts. And if they're thoughts that I feel aren't building me up, I'm putting them outside on that reel, the one that got very small. And I'm going to look at my movie of being happy, fulfilled, complete, confident, abundant. And I trust my divinity. And that's the vibration I can feel inside. And I'm not going to try and hold on to it or make it up. I'm going to sit here and breathe. And whatever thoughts come, if I like them, I put them in my movie that I'm watching. If I'd rather not have them, I'm putting them onto the reel that's far away from me now. And I can do this at any time of the day and know that I can do that. And I'm going to feel the spiral within me. Moves up, it moves down. I can feel the divinity. And I know that's what we are made for. And we're human. I imagine myself connecting to a higher realm where there's love and peace, acceptance, discernment, detachment. And I notice how that feels and where I feel it. Do I feel it in my body? Do I feel it above me? Do I sense it? Do I see it? And then I'm going to think about my humanity. I'm going to think about my flaws, my imperfections, my mistakes, thoughts I don't want to have, or thoughts that make me feel bad that I'm having them. And I'm going to notice how those feel compiled together. How do they feel in my body, around me? Do I see anything? And I notice I'm holding on to them rather tightly. And so with my hands, I'm going to relax them. With my body, I'm going to relax every area that feels tense or tight or uncomfortable. I'm going to shift. In this relaxation, just doing this releases all of those and puts them onto a reel far from me because I've relaxed and they just fall off of me. They just slide right off as I relax my body. And I'm going to take a breath and enjoy how that feels. And any thoughts that come up, I'm putting them out onto that reel that's far away. And I'm going to come back and watch my happy movie where I am secure, where I feel trust in myself, trust in this moment and in the next, because everything works out for me. And I trust this moment, it will as well. And I'm going to notice the vibration of the divinity spiral. How am I experiencing that? And I notice I'm trying to hold on tightly to that, like I'm afraid it's going to disappear. Because I have real life where I have felt connected, confident, secure, and happy. And then the next moment, I feel other things that don't feel as good. And so I'm trying to hold on to this feeling, but I'm going to let that go because everything works out for me and everything in my body, every cell has a code that is divinity. So I'm going to relax my body again, my hands, my feet, my hips and legs, my pelvis, just relaxing, my back and shoulders. And as I relax, imagine seeing light all around me. So even when I let go, it's still all around me. I can breathe it in. I can see it. I can feel it. And I relax again. Anything that feels tight, any thoughts that come in or visions, visuals that I don't enjoy, that I don't feel are lifting me up, go out to that real far away. And so I'm noticing there are certain thoughts that keep coming up still. And I notice I'm keep having to push them out. And so now I'm going to bring that reel into my view and watch it. So I'm going to watch myself in the places where I'm not proud of my thoughts or my actions, where I feel heavy and dense, unhappy, unfulfilled. And I'm looking at that person and I'm going to choose to give that person compassion and love because I know they're doing their best. As I watch this reel, and I'm going to bring in an understanding where sometimes traumas that we have when we're young embed themselves because of the shock, because of what they did to our nervous system and what they did to our thoughts and our mind. And what happened in that trauma is there were a lot of chemicals released. And those chemicals, even in the fight or flight, even though you're terrified, they are stimulating. And so when I drop into feeling off, unmotivated, where do you think my thoughts are going to go? They're going to try to find some way to stimulate me, whether it's anger, sadness, whether it's sexual, whether it's physical, whether it's spiritual. My mind has gotten used to searching for what stimulated me the most because it's trying to help me. And so my mind and my body sometimes feel like they betray me when in actuality, if I'm feeling low, my mind and my body are going to try and do their very best to bring me back up. And so what's going to happen? It's going to stimulate something from a trauma, something from something that upset us when we were young, shocked us. And there are a lot of those in our lives because TV shows, social media, people, families, the world shocks us. And so we will go back to those things in some manner. And we'll spin in those thoughts and feelings and patterns. And then we feel like we're in the hole again. So I'm going to levitate out of this particular hole that I'm in, just thinking about these thoughts. And I'm going to look at that person and understand that's the human part of living here. That divinity is within me, and there's also the human part. And I have some unconscious patterns that run me when I'm bored, angry, when I feel like I'm not moving forward in my life, or I feel like I don't have an answer. All of those are go-tos for my mind and my body to find something very stimulating. And so if you wonder, why do I love sad movies? Why do I love revenge movies? Why do I have thoughts of revenge or go over conversations in my head where I get to just purge everything onto somebody else? Anger issues, whatever it is, we all have our patterns, all of us, because we're human. And so those memories, I'm going to think of things that have shocked me. And now they stimulate me. So if you're young and you watch a video game and you get to kill somebody and it feels good because you just got told as a child you can't do something, you can't go over to friends. And so all of that anger gets put into that stimulus. And so that stimulus might be your go-to. And it's because we're human. We are human. And our minds work a specific way, our bodies work a specific way. And then we have our consciousness, our divinity that coexists with it. And so many times we try to keep them separate. Like this one's bad and this one's good. But the light never tries to hide from the dark. It always just shines. And so that light within us, it always shines. Our divinity, it's always there. It never leaves us because that's how that works. My humanity works a certain way, my spirit works another. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blend them. And so all of the reels that I've been looking at, my happy self, and all the thoughts that I put on another reel that I put behind it, I'm going to see them. One's on top, one's on the bottom, and I'm watching both movies. And both of those people are me. And I'm going to allow them to merge together peacefully, lovingly. I'm going to accept those parts of myself that I probably don't like very much. And I'm just going to surround them in the light. And I notice how they feel, and they feel better, as if they're their own entity. I can feel them appreciating being accepted and loved for exactly what they are. Are there any feelings of unworthiness, sadness, anger, dissonance, disconnect? I'm going to notice all of those as they merge. And I'm going to allow the light to encompass the darker parts. And as I'm watching this movie in front of me, it's not chaotic or dissonant. They do blend well together. And with no expectation, I'm going to be in this moment, just feeling that they're blending and working together in my movie of my life. And I see myself smiling, succeeding, walking among the other pictures, the other thoughts, seeing them, noticing them, sometimes reaching out to them with a gentle touch. And so now I'm not going to push away those visions. I'm putting them in the screen with all of the light. I'm not going to separate them anymore. I'm just going to allow the light that is greater than me to encompass all of the darker parts of myself, to allow them to be, to allow them to coexist in the light, because even they deserve it. In this movie that is my life, that I'm watching, merge perfectly the light and the dark, existing together, not outcasting one, not judging another, not putting limits or boundaries on either one, not making one better, not making one worse, not making one stronger. They coexist together perfectly because everything works out for me. And as they merge, I'm going to notice what it feels like. Do I feel a light sense and a heavy sense? Do they feel together? Do I feel light? How do I feel? Do I feel more present? Do I like it? And I'm just going to be in this space for a moment. There's no fixing here. There's no casting out. There's coexistence with the light and the dark parts of me. And I know that I'm going to make my decisions from this space the best that I can. And I may have to come back to this tomorrow. I don't know, but I'm going to let it be. And so before I come out of this meditation and these thoughts, I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to look at that movie again. And it's going to disappear and be like a wind that wraps around me, all around me. There's light, there's dark, and I do need them both. I'm able to create when I blend all of myself together. And when I don't, when I cast off a part of me, that part just comes back like a poor, lonely dog. Because where is it to go? Where is the energy to go that I just created in my mind or my thought or my actions? I created it. And now I'm just leaving it out to fend for itself. So I'm going to bring in this little dog that I created, this little black dog. And it's an awkward dog. It doesn't know how to act or behave, doesn't know what to do. It doesn't know if I'm going to hit it, embrace it, leave it. It has had no consistency other than to be cast out over and over again. And so I've just built energy around this poor dog. And so I bring it in and set it on my lap. And we find a peace together. Its breathing starts to relax. This black dog starts to relax and cuddles into me. It's not used to having a home or being loved. And my light is great enough to not cast it out. It may not live in my home with me. I may have it out in the field of my energy so that it can run and play, cause no harm. It exists just as the night exists. And in the night, we rebuild, we recover, we rest, we ponder. And I can't have an intention because then I'll feel like I've either succeeded or failed when really all I've done is just blended myself together and called back parts of me that I have rejected, but I'm rejecting me. Nobody deserves that. And so I bring all those parts in. And if I see something dark, I can walk around it. It's still there, but I can choose something else. I can choose a different thought without making it wrong what I originally thought. I can choose a different action. I can choose the dark. It's there. I'm going to decide in these next moments, in my moments today, what I want to do with it. And instead of casting it, I may not feed it, but I definitely am not judging it. And for the parts where I do judge, because everything works out for me, I'm going to trust the timing. And I take a deep breath. And because my intention was not, I want to feel light, I want to feel better, my intention was to become conscious and to merge myself back together again. And so I can move on in whatever choice I want. I'm going to take a deep breath and come back and open my eyes and be in this moment and wonder, what have I just done? I feel more present. I know what my happy self looks like. And I would like to think upon that for today and bring that in and feel all the moments that I'm able to with that, while also noticing I've brought in all of me. And I can transform from here.